back to Hi Guys, it's your boy BDR, and I'm back with another WWE video. Now today's WWE video, as you know, as the title says, is going to be, WWE Hot Takes, at least Volume 1. Now, I've done hot take videos on the channel before. WWE, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatnot. Yeah, link to those other hot takes will be in the description below. So, you can go check those out. Might actually make a playlist for them. But yeah, I've done wrestling hot takes. I just think this one's just going to be just WWE. As you know, disclaimer, this is just my opinion. If you agree or disagree, comment section is right there. So let's go on with the first take. The first take I have here is that Jinder Mahal was not a bad world champion. He's not the worst world champion because, it's 2017, Jinder Mahal surprisingly beat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Don't get me wrong, watching this live, I was disappointed because I was like, Randy Orton lost to Jinder Mahal. But at the same time, it really proved that SmackDown Live at the time, that's what it's called at the time, was really the place of opportunity, the land of opportunity. And it gave Jinder Mahal, a chance to shine. He had like a 6-month reign as world champion, and not gonna lie, it worked because it's like Jinder Mahal was a good heel champion. Because the thing about heels nowadays, like heels get cheered by the crowd. They could do some of the most heinous things and they still get cheered by the crowd, which is like, back then with like Triple H and Evolution, they would get booed every single week. Nowadays, it's like they'll get cheered by the crowd. It's like we need heels that do heel stuff and get the appropriate reaction, which is boos, and that's what Jinder Mahal did. He was a good heel, he got boos, and the thing about Jinder Mahal being champion too is that, you guys were complaining for years and years. You guys were tired of Cena and Orton winning titles. They give you guys the part-timers. You guys are tired of part-timers winning championships. They give you guys the Shield. You guys are tired of the Shield holding championships. And there you go. You have Jinder Mahal, who isn't a part-timer, who isn't a Shield member, and who isn't Cena and Orton. So it's just like they gave you guys someone that doesn't fit all those bills. And he was a full-time champion on top of that. I just feel like, Jinder Mahal's title reign was kind of like, world title reign was kind of like overhated. Like, we've seen worse world champions in WWE, like, I don't know, Carmella, Jack Swagger, Alberto Del Rio. Like, we've seen worse. Like, I'll even say Kofi Kingston's was worse than Jinder Mahal. Like, Kofi Kingston's title reign, it was a definition of, like, when the honeymoon phase ends. And it did. Like, people were just wondering, when is he going to drop the title? Like, everyone thought he was going to be a transitional champion. And then he ended up having a 6-month reign. When everyone just wanted him to drop the title already. So, yeah. That's pretty much it, Jinder Mahal's title reign, like, looking back at it, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst world title reign. Like, there are worse out there, even in wrestling history. I just feel like, Jinder Mahal's world title reign back in 2017 was kind of like overhated. Yeah, it was a business decision. But, it worked out well in the end, right? We ended up getting the nice-ass Saudi shows every year, so that's pretty nice. Alright, then let's move on to the next hot take. Alright, so speaking of, underrated world title reigns, I just have, Damian Priest's world title reign was a good title reign. Because, this title reign, started almost a year ago. Damian Priest cashed in after the incredible Rollins-McIntyre match to kick off Mania 40 Night 2. Damian Priest won. And, I just feel like Damian Priest, he exceeded expectations because everyone thought like, oh, McIntyre is back in the world title scene. Oh, McIntyre's definitely winning. Yeah, Punk did cost him, but Damian Priest retained. Then the same thing happened at Money in the Bank. Oh, Rollins is back. Oh yeah, Rollins is definitely taking the title from Priest. Punk intervenes again. Damian Priest retains. It's like, Damian Priest had like a 4-month reign. He lost to Gunther at SummerSlam, help, Balor cost him the title. At the same time, he really exceeded expectations, and it really shows like Damian Priest, you could put him in the world title scene, and like the world title scene wouldn't go down negatively. Like he like the matches were good. Yeah, yeah, I understand. Punk interference and whatnot. Yeah, Punk interference this, Punk interference that. But like before Punk interferes, like Damian Priest has like a move set on him. Like I would not mind if he actually touches another world title this year, as long as he's away from Judgment Day shit, which they did move him on SmackDown. So maybe probably before the year ends, maybe he could touch like another world title. I wouldn't mind if he became WWE champion. It really shows like how much Damian Priest has grown from Punishment Martinez to Damian Priest, the Archer of Infamy. Like he's a good promo. He has a good move set. Yeah, you could call him Bondage Undertaker, but at least he has promo skills. Like I said earlier, we have seen worse world title reigns, like Jack Swagger, Carmella, like Jinder Mahal, Kofi Kingston. Like those are kind of like some bad world title reigns and whatnot. But Damian Priest, he was actually a solid world champion. He had solid matches overall. He was just a good champion. Like I would have him over Gunther right now as my world champion. Gunther has really done shit up until this Mania build. Oh fuck, he has to fight Eat Merchant. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much have hopefully before the year ends, Damian Priest touches another world title. All right, then let's move on to the next hot take. All right, guys. So for my next WWE hot take, I just have part-timers. You need part-timers in your company. I understand. Throughout the 2010s and early 2020s, that's we're in the mid 2020s right now. I understand part-timers taking the belt, leaving, yada yada yada. But the story is always the same with part-timers. A part-timer comes, takes the belt, disappears. That way, when the part-timer is gone, you actually build up a full-time wrestler to take the championship from the part-timer. And it's been proven every single time. Like when Brock Lesnar had the 500-day reign, it's like you built up Roman Reigns. Yeah, I understand, people didn't really like Big Dog Roman and whatnot, air quotes, Cena clone and whatnot, but he did get the job done. At the end of the day, it worked out well. You got a full-time champion out of it. It's just like, and then like a year later with Rollins, you build up Rollins to be your top guy on Raw, and you have him beat Lesnar multiple times in 1 year. Like how many wrestlers can say like, especially in this modern era of wrestling, can be like, I beat Lesnar multiple times in 1 year. You kind of say like, but Roman, really, that's Roman Reigns, GOAT status. But like, you need part timers in your company, so that way when they take the title and disappear. Because not gonna lie, like part timers are better than like half of the roster at this point. Like that's why it's like, why couldn't The Rock show up at like Mania 41 or show up at the Royal Rumble earlier in the year, won the Royal Rumble, beat Cody Rhodes for the title, and then you build up, Roman to beat him at Mania 42 next year. I mean, that plan could still happen, but The Rock's schedule is pretty damn tight, so I guess we have to wait for next year for that to happen. But it's just like, you need part-timers in your company, so that way you could build up your world champ. Because, at times, kid, when you have full-time champions, they just don't be working out. Whether or not you blame the wrestler, you blame the booking, you blame production. Yeah, you have all these factors to blame, but it's kind of like, at least with like part-timing champions, you don't have to deal with, like, half of that is kind of like gone. I mean, it's like, yeah, they show up like twice a year and whatnot, but it's like they work out in the end because you get to build up a full-time person, all the stories. Like, look at Cody. Look at Cody's story. It worked out well, didn't it, right? Cody won the championship at Mania 40. I understand some people wanted him to win the title at Mania 39, but we're better off. Like obviously, Roman was reaching 1,000 days, so it was obvious that Roman was gonna reach that goal. No one really expected him to go 1,300 days, but yeah, it's just that part timers they work out in the end because they get to help out a full timer. And guess what? At the end of the story, you end up with a full time champion with the credibility that they beat said part timer. See where I'm getting at, folks? All the champions in the pictures, like they've done just that. Like ended up having a full timer win the championship off of them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's move on to the next hot take. All right, for my next hot take, I just have the WWE spinner belt has got to be the best looking like version of the WWE championship. Yep, I said it. So you think it's better than Winged Eagle? Yes. Global? Yes. Undisputed? Yes. The modern? Yes. 1,000 times yes. Oh, I'd rather have the spinner belt come back than like have the modern championships, low key. Like the spinner belt is just thank thank the Lord for Cena, man. It's just, for making this design, for WWE for like green lighting the design. It's just when I hear people talk bad about this house, like these are the same people that do praise the global belt. These same people praise the Universal Championship. It's like, what? Like, look at it, all the gems on it. The fact that it could spin is beautiful. And plus, like, almost every person that held it looked good with it. I don't understand where this come from. We're like, oh, oh, only Cena looked good with the spinner belt. It's like, that's incredibly false. Like Edge looked good with it. Triple H looked good with it. Hardy, Orton, Punk. Like, what are your like? I'll even say the Miz looked good with it. It's just like, bro, I don't understand where this come from. Only that belt only looked good on Cena. It's like that's incredibly false. Rey Mysterio, even though he held it for like an hour, he looked good with the spinner belt on him. Like the spinner belt is just a completely golden design. I'd rather have the spinner belt over like all the other versions of like the world title. Like it's true. It's just like if there was like an Elite Series spinner belt for like $2,000, like, and if I had the $2,000, I would actually buy it. It was just so amazing seeing it on TV. From like the mid 2000s all the way to like the early 2010s. It was just a beautiful sight to see. It was just like a golden belt. Like I'll say like top one belt design in like WWE history. So yeah, guys, the spinner belt's goated. I don't care. Put your favorite belt versus the spinner belt. Spinner belt's coming out on top. All right then, let's move on to the next hot take. All right, guys. So for my last hot take, I just have there will always be better people than CM Punk. Now, this this hot take kind of originated from the fact I've been going online. I've just been seeing people be like, "The Rock has stolen Punk's main event." First of all, The Rock will always be better than CM Punk, no matter how you slice and dice it. And first of all, no one has ever stolen Punk's main event. There is just better people around him. Like seriously, I would book Big Dog Roman Reigns over current CM Punk any day of the century. Like part-timing Lesnar, part-timing Goldberg, I would book them over CM Punk every week. The only thing that Punk has over both of them is promos. And the thing is about like, no one has ever stolen Punk's main event. There were always better people around him. Like when he started being in WWE, it's like you gotta look at the roster around him around like '06, '08. You had Cena, you had Orton, you had Hardy. like Jeff Hardy's story to the WWE Championship. You had Umaga, you had Big Show, Taker, Kane, Batista. Why am I gonna choose CM Punk over them? And then you fast forward into like okay, the early 2010s, Punk's peak, the 2011 to 2013 run, the 434-day run. It's like of course I'm gonna pick Cena in the main event over him. It's John fucking Cena. And throughout Punk's 434-day reign, it's like the dude only got like what 5 or 6 main events, mostly with Cena in them. Let's go over it. Like what TLC 2011, whatnot. Let's see again. No, that was Cena. No, Cena. That was Money in the Bank. SummerSlam 2012. That was Brock and Triple H. Then again, like why would I? Of course, I'm gonna close out my show with like Brock and Triple H. It's Brock Lesnar and Triple H. Let's see, Night of Champions 2012. Cena involved. Let's see, Hell in a Cell 2012 with Ryback. Oh yeah, Cena endorsing Ryback. So then again, Cena involvement. Survivor Series 2012 had Cena in it. That was like the Shield debut, and then Royal Rumble 2013, which had The Rock. So you gotta understand, it's like Punk's main events, aside from his like first main event as like world champion, have been because of Cena and Rock. And again, look around Punk's peak, 2011 to 2013. It's like you still had Cena, Orton, the rise of Daniel Bryan, the rise of the Yes Movement. I'm gonna pick all of those over Punk any day of the week. Like, don't get me wrong, Punk is nice. Like, current Punk is nice, but guys, there was a reason why he didn't win the Rumble earlier in the year. Come on. Because he's not the best guy that you even have right now. Roman Reigns is the best guy that you have right now. Roman Reigns is the true quarterback one in your company. Cody Rhodes is like a good quarterback too, a good second option. But it's just like seeing this like glaze towards Punk, like people have always stolen his main events. Nah. Throughout Punk's career, he's always been surrounded by bigger fish than him. Like even during his AEW run, it's like he had people like can't believe I mentioned AEW in a WWE video, but like Chris Jericho was a bigger fish than him and whatnot. So yeah, the thing about CM Punk is that there will always be bigger fish than CM Punk. Even currently with like Roman Reigns, The Rock, Cena, he's not even the most over guy. That's Jey Uso. I hate to admit it, that fucking yeet merchant. But he's more over than Punk. You got others on the way like Penta, Fatu. It's like, I'd rather book those than CM Punk. But yeah, that's pretty much it. No one has ever stolen Punk's main event. Y'all are just some Punk glazers. And even then, there's like better people than Punk. Like the people on the left, they're better all time than Punk. Not to take away from it. Punk's pretty nice, but there's way better people than him. And people wonder why people have this like notion or something like that he has had his main events stolen from him, where that's completely false. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much been it for the WWE Hot Takes video. Make sure to like, subscribe for more WWE content, AK Worlds content, etc. And yeah, hi guys, out.